I'm giving you the deepest secrets here. I hope you realize this. When we come back, we are going to go into the heart of darkness, the absolute heart of human sacrifice of children publicly in America. Oh, yes. Like warfare, flashbacks, trauma. And I'm going to cover that first, and I ask God to help me control myself and actually make all the points and be focused and not go into a rage. I cleaned carpets for a summer, and this was 20 years ago. And I didn't know what they were at the time, and I would ask, what is this? And they go, this is a foster home. And it was like zombie, not kids looking this bad, concentration camp, but living on dirty mattresses and whatever. And then there'd always be some fat Nelly man running around with little girls and boys. And I was just like, ugh, what is this? Now that I'm older and can look back at that, I know what it was. It was pervert palaces with kidnapped kids. I mean, it's hell on earth, man. These parents, and I want to get them on the show, better stop having this yuppie, trendy attitude that so many trashy country people think. We just recreationally do cocaine every once in a while. You got predators that want to ruin your life, idiots. They already took her once because you smoked marijuana. You understand that? Don't give them any excuses. It's your fault that you let these predators get at your child. And you obviously still think it's okay what you did. You should have gotten off the marijuana and gotten out of the area. I'd like to punch that father right in the nose. I'll tell you right now, punk, you make me sick. But because you don't understand what you're facing. America doesn't understand what they're facing. But the scumbags do. They'll kill your daughter. They kill people all the time, WOAI investigation showed. They'll put her on so many drugs, they will kill her. They will kill your daughter. While you're sitting there going, we just did it recreationally. You don't give the enemy any excuse. You live an absolutely upright life or they will kill your children. 400-pound CPS workers, black social workers. There's 3 types of social workers. There's the pot-bellied, mustache, pedophile, male. There's the fat, weirdo, white woman. And then there's the giant, fat, black woman. I don't know why, but that's what they all look like. This is my main message. You're like, well, what do you do? Start going to family court and watching.
In the hearings we attended, CPS suddenly changed caseworkers.
So no caseworker knows what the other caseworker's doing.
Whenever the judge would ask caseworkers...
Good pause. You see the caseworkers? They always got that look on their face. I've been in these family court things covering it. That's why I can't go back. The judge gets off on the crying. It's like when Darth Vader finds out Padme's been killed, super cheesy, and he goes, and gets sad. You see the Emperor smiling behind him. They've done their research. That's what's going on with Judge Jean Muir in Austin. That's what goes on with the CPS workers. And man, when you see their eyes light up like demons and they get this little smile with their teeth showing, I mean, it's just like, I go out and cry. I mean, it is like hardcore. I mean, it's like Emperor Palpatine up there behind the judge's deal. I've opened the door when the woman's calling me saying, they're here, they're taking my baby. And you get there and the little blue-collar family's there, but they got a blonde-haired, blue-eyed baby. And you open the door and the cop is choking the woman, saying, sign it. And then the cop looks up and you're looking into a demonic demon's eyes and they smile because they know you can either take them there and go to prison for the rest of your life, or I then aided and abetted the evil and stood down as the wraiths took the child. And a lot of times it's going to be bye-bye Bluebird. And when your kid gets put in a box, it's a victory for them. And they feel good about it because they take absolute brain damage scum in most of the cases who just want big fat bonuses because they're big fat demons. And they just could care less. It's victory after victory after victory after victory after victory against humanity. The TV shows put down children and talk about how they're scum and old people are gross and all of this so that we won't stand together as humans, as this alien force of psychopaths. Alien to what true humanity is, this mutated, disgusting guild of control freaks and scum and perverts that form these colony systems of government and mega corporations that are mining us and feeding on us and attacking humanity. I just want to see us rise against them and grapple and grab their arms and just slowly, inexorably, with total commitment and dedication, rip their arms out of their sockets. And I mean that figuratively. I had a devil went down to Georgia experience yesterday. was driving along through the country and came to this low water crossing. And there, parked on their motorcycle, sitting there in the sunshine with birds tweeting, was a very famous person who's known for being evil. And I stopped and I looked out the window and he said, "Finally we meet." And I pulled over and got out and talked to the person. And it was just bizarre. Maybe I'll get him on the show sometime. Barack Obama's wife, Michelle Obama, has said twice on video, we've played it here, in 07 and 08, that her husband was born in Kenya and went back to his homeland of Kenya. They've given us a fake birth certificate, undoubtedly fake. Humans are hot-blooded, folks. Mammals are hot-blooded. We're not like a shark. Sharks don't get cancer. They've been doing studies for decades. You can't give sharks cancer because they don't have hormones. They have a completely different system. Hormones supercharge us. Hot-blooded, check it and see. Got a fever of 103. We're hot-blooded. We're hot-blooded. It's a gross analogy, but I have to use it because it's the only way to really document it. Why do you not like going to a big city pool? Because there's hundreds of people in it, and none of them care about anybody else, and they're urinating in the pool. Sometimes you'll get even a 10-year-old kid who's lazy. They'll get in the pool and crap in it. Excuse my French. Now, that's what tyranny and corruption is. See, they sell sin and wickedness and corruption like it's sexy and fun and neat. That's the surface. The truth is about evil is it's basically everybody getting in the pool and going to the bathroom. And you're like, ha, they're all going to be in my you-know-what. You're in theirs, too. You understand that? And then you're in a world of you-know-what. The reality is so over the top. If you just go look up lethal chemical, biological, radiological testing on U.S. troops. Thousands of government documents and articles over the last 60 years. I want you to have this journey. Go to the NSA search engine, Google, or go to startpage.com. Go there and just type in foster children pesticide. Foster children medical experimentation. Foster children radiation experimentation. Foster children dioxin experimentation. Foster children sterilized. Foster children dead. Foster child dead, 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 dead. The type of people that get power and hold power get more and more degenerate until they're saying, firstborn, we're sending soldiers by next Friday night to kill your firstborn. Anyone that resists, almost every culture did this, he will be dead. That the underclasses have too many sons, and we're afraid there'll be an uprising. Your firstborn under the age of 10 will be killed. It varied culture to culture. You didn't know about this? Every other chapter in the Bible, which they've checked with the other histories, is very accurate. The Old Testament is the Romans. Before that, the Egyptians were coming to kill your firstborn. And people delivered their sons out, and here they come with that sword. All right. Well, now they just kill our sons' minds. What is over 20 times the autism in boys and girls? It's tailored for boys. I'm going to say it again. They take people's children and they murder them. They take people's children and they murder them. Murder, murder, like kill. And he was born in Kenya. Think about that. He's totally blackmailed. The system knows it. The Clintons are running the White House. The ones that originally brought this up. You know, Glenn Beck's like, Hillary brought this up, so it's a lie. No, they've got the FBI files on everybody. He's born in Kenya. His whole family's CIA, so they dummied it up, put the announcement in the newspaper where his grandparents, who were CIA, lived. That's all come out. We reverse engineered the whole thing. So in a way, he really is American. I mean, you know, technically, he's Kenyan, but I can understand why they dummied it up for him. His mom was CIA. That guy in Kenya is probably not even his father, but it does look like she was there and had the baby. I have fame. I have fortune. The New World Order's ignored everything we do. That's only made us bigger. It's only given us the seal of authenticity. And none of it means anything. Not knowing movie stars, not knowing famous people, not knowing Willie Nelson, Jesse Ventura, not knowing, you know, Beatles and people like that. None of that means anything. People used to say, get the government out of my bedroom. Now they got the low flush toilets that don't work. Get them out of my bathroom. How about get the government out of my pants? And so I am crazy. I am bad. I am bad. I am. I went back to the Romans 1,800 years ago during just their squalor, you know, degeneration. And I said, you need to stop throwing men, women, and children in. You know, by the end, the Romans were tired of just seeing gladiators killed. They liked seeing little kids get killed. So you always degenerate. First it's men, you make fights, you know, it's kids later. They'd already exhausted all the local animals and couldn't afford to ship them in from Africa anymore, you know, the giraffes and elephants and everything else. So those little kids, they started killing little kids in the arena too. They liked that a lot. I guess that'd be more like 1,900 years ago. Right, yeah. And if you went back and said, if you could speak Latin, Roman, and you said, you know, this is really wrong what you're doing. By the way, your society's getting ready to collapse. This won't be here soon. They look at you and say, you know what, buddy? Chain him up and throw him in the arena. Finishing up, you know, we tend to focus on the CPS abusing our Fourth Amendment, our 10th Amendment, now on the highways, destroying our liberty as the shock potbelly force of the New World Order, along with their CPS auxiliary potbelly demon force. Let me tell you, ladies and gentlemen, the spirit world is real. The New World Order is real. And the slow, tortured murder of our children is real. You know, they tell you 52 million aborted babies since '74. The year I was born. Roe v. Wade was what, 73, went into place the next year. It's taken 52 million Americans and blasted them into infinity. They don't get to go to school. They don't get to be cool. Where it's just like radiation's good, death's good, toxin's good, but pay Al Gore money for carbon dioxide, plants breathe. I mean, it just seems like the elite themselves have gone completely nuts. It's just like people can't believe the NDAA. They can't believe the drones. They can't believe talking streetlights that listen to you and spy on you. They can't believe the CIA director says, yeah, all the new appliances have tech in them watching and listening to you, and the smart meters are controlling them. People can't believe tyranny, and that's why tyranny is almost always able to take over, because people don't learn from history. This is a big, smoking, giant, stinking, most disgusting scientific tyranny anybody has ever seen. It knows what it's doing. It is in everybody's face. It is breaking people's wills, and it is moving into high gear. Red alert. Red alert. Red alert. You want to know? I'll tell you why. Because it was all done on purpose. Most of you listening, your daddy, your mommy who died young, that's a little globalist gift out of the Rockefeller Foundation documents on Infowars.com. You had a child who got pediatric cancer. You might want to look up the fact that 50 years ago, they would get on airplanes and trains and travel 2,000 miles to see a child with pediatric cancer of any type. Now I can walk down to the mall today, and I guarantee you, I can find children with cancer right now at the shopping mall. And I'm angry. I don't care if they kill me. I don't care if they arrest me and set me up for something. I could care less about anything now but just getting the word out. And that's all this show is an emergency beacon. In fact, can you dig up the Klingon beacon again when we're under Klingon attack? And that's what it is. But I'm just here going, Mayday, 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 under sustained attack. Humankind is under red level attack, red level attack. Here's the evidence. Emergency, 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 emergency. And the cops are too busy in their gang mentality, dressed up in their little outfits, kissing up to the captain when he shows up so they can get promoted and all this to even do anything. And the general yuppies are 10 times worse than the cops. They could just care less and are running around having a good time, laughing and everything. Everything's funny. That's it. That's it. This is basically what's going on in my head all the time. And I guess I'm the bad guy. I am really the bad guy. I am the bad guy. If I teleported back to the Aztec kingdom 1,000 years ago at its height, and I could speak Mayan, and I walked up, say, in the big temples that are in Mexico City today, and I walked up to the big Great Pyramid there, and I walked up to the high priest who takes hallucinogens every day and is out of his mind and is tuned into the dark side, and I could say in Mayan, please don't sacrifice every morning 10 children. And the first thing he'd say was, well, we have, this is what the gods demand. The sun came up, we got to kill more when the sun goes down. Plus, we make our money. It's how the priest class goes out and tattles and keeps everybody paranoid, manipulates everybody with superstition. He wouldn't know that. He believes it. On his power trip with his teeth, filed, pointed, he'd say that's how we make our money. They made their money selling the long hams down at the bottom of the pyramid was the meat selling area. And the children is the most succulent meat. I mean, that's why the gods wanted children, because it was the more tasty meat. The gods get the heart, though. Nobody gets that. But you get the rest. And I would be a crazy man. Ha, 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 and we're going to grab your genitals and abuse your children at the airports and highways next, and we're going to force inoculations on you. Mercury's good for you. Ha, ha, ha. Many people are sheep. Many are wolves. The globalists try to convert sheep sympathizers to serve the wolves, believing they're going to win, but they're still stupid sheep. I'm as wicked as the day is long. Areas of my mind. I can see what the evil sees. You see, really good people actually can see the evil and the good. But that is a more rare type. Most people that are just good are good and trusting and are not full spectrum. And they cannot understand what's happening. They don't understand the enemy. They can't think like the enemy. They can't get in the enemy's mind. They're sheep. They're not sheepdogs. I'm a sheepdog. Everything starts rotting and falling apart and degenerating. When you do as thou wilt, when you only care about yourself, you create a hellish world. But the do as thou wilt crowd is scientifically genius when it comes to evil. They know how to get most people to join evil and being selfish and thinking they're getting ahead. But with those that are good of heart and have common sense and come from good bloodlines of people that had love and decency, more and more I realize that's why the elite are into this. It's true. Just like with breeds of dogs, there's sweet ones and there's mean ones. There's gregarious and true to the end, and there's wicked. And by breeds, I mean even within subgroups of so-called human race and different groups, there's different bloodlines within those groups. They kill your daughter's fertility. They make her go into fertility when she's, 6 years old instead of 14. She's 30 years old. She has the breast of an 80-year-old woman and gets breast cancer and dies. Don't ever call me and tell me I'm good and how great I am. You understand? You should be ashamed of yourself as well. Our best works are dirty rags. As the epiphanies and understandings are hitting me of the years of knowledge, as I access all that data and it sweeps over me, the full spectrum of the master plan, the pain, the horror, the desire to defeat it and stop it and somehow be articulate enough to reach out to you and somehow find that lever, that switch I flip to turn humanity loose to defeat these people. And I just want to find the lever to stop these people. That lever is you. Now, I thought about doing this morning. I'm doing it right now on air. God, I call on you right now to make an example of these wicked doers. And I call on you and ask you that you will judge them now. Judge them now and bring them to their knees like Saul of Tarsus. that you will judge them now today. I want them listening now today. I want them to see what happens now. In the name of Jesus Christ, I ask you, Father, to come to the aid of these children. You said it would be better for them, those that have hurt the little ones, to tie a millstone around their neck and be thrown into the deepest sea. Well, I ask you to bring judgment upon them now. I want all of you to pray that. I want judgment brought on these people right now. And believe me, they know too. We've only done this a few other times, and let me tell you, there's going to be a lot of people hurting today, having a meltdown over all the lies. It's really starting to get to me. And it's just these dungeons. It's dungeons, locked up in basements. And the pedos get there, and it's time to have fun. Kids are locked up. Pedo gets back. Pedo brings friends over. Texas Youth Commission, they had public pedo parties. Nobody got in trouble for that. State police tried to do something. They just fired the director. And they put directors in there that'll keep the Texas Rangers on a short leash, and the rape rooms continue. And that's just America. That's what America is. When you're in a store, most gas stations, and they've got a thing for the local house for children that have been taken. It's help abused children. Folks, they're probably raping those kids 24/7 in there. They don't have them drugged up out of their minds. I mean, let me tell you, most of these things are just big money-making operations. Are there real foster parents and real good people out there? Yeah, you'll see them. They're usually, you got to typecast them, they're white Christians who've adopted, 10 mentally retarded black children. Those people are all over the place. So there are real ones out there, okay? I know some of them. There's missionaries in all the world, and they come back, and have 6, 7, and they'll have a, autistic white kid, and they'll have a couple of retarded black children, and some genetic disorder Hispanic kids, and they're all in there taking care of them. I mean, he's born in Kenya. Born in Kenya. And what's the issue? He's blackmailed. He's compromised. That was the whole point of it. Because a lie that big now, all the laws he signed are illegitimate, so the whole system's going to defend that lie, and then another precedent set. It's all about dragging us through the mud, breaking our will, letting the TSA grope our families. Don't you see what's happening? It's fake. There's a fake typewriter computer font. We even know the name. We had too many cooks spoil the broth, but it's some of the best video we've ever put together. It's something that's going to be pretty amazing. On and on and on. Lies, 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 lies. Lies, 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 lies. And I've seen them. I have faced them. And they are pure evil, 1 billion times more evil than the fake Al-Qaeda. They love the crying, and they're just like feeding. I've played judges before. You've seen the clips we played where they actually put family court on there. I'm going to take the child. Yes, that's what I'm going to do since you guys are arguing about this divorce. Just arguing. And everybody starts crying. You see the judge go, that's what I'm going to do. And then you see the bailiffs smiling. They're all, we're powerful. We're powerful. I'm sorry. Let's go out to break with the rest of the demons. Born in Kenya. Born in Kenya. Born in Kenya. Born in Kenya. Oh my gosh, black hair, green eyes. We can get $500,000 for that. Oh my gosh, you're a bad parent. I mean, this is what they do. This is what they do. And they're sitting there preying on you. You're just a nice, friendly, dumb American, the right whale, the one everybody wants to hunt because we're stupid and gullible, and we won't ever stand up for ourselves. It's because we think we're so free. But it's okay for Bill Clinton to be president. Again, this is another issue. I've had 3 children, and we had them in a hospital because my wife wanted to. And the doctor's a listener, and that was all great. All 3 times, they sat there and said, would you bring this downstairs, sir, this file? And then, how much money you got? Does your husband beat you? While they're typing in a computer to CPS. And by the second time, I figured it out, and I started confronting them. And then they'd act really weird. It's always an old nurse on a power trip. You're going into a prison. You're going into a race hygiene facility. They're violating your rights. It's totally criminal. They need to be sued. Just like hospitals are being sued for stealing corneas and stealing organs. See, they're criminal institutions. Most of them are. And that's why, as long as they do that, they're allowed to do it. They're in on the local mafia. And they've got their little control freak nurses and all this who live in their own Nazi Germany where they're forced to take vaccines outside law. And next thing, will you take this down? And I go, look, I already done this, honey. Do you abuse your children when you had them? Do you have kids, lady? Oh, I bet you don't. Listen, I'm Alex Jones. I know what's going on. I'm not some stupid person. Hey, I had surgery on my leg to put a pin in it when I was 16. And right as the anesthesiologist comes over and starts doing it, the guy was bombed out of his mind, obviously taking his own sauce. They say about half of them do. I woke up a bunch on the table. I mean, they had like doctors come by and say, well, we tested your blood. You're not on any drugs. You've got an incredible liver. It took 9 times the amount to keep me under. I was like attacking people. This is a true story. Like, they had to strap me down because every time they started sawing into my bone, I woke up. And then at night, my IV fell out. Blood was everywhere. I mean, I've been in the hospital one time. Well, I was in there a couple other times, I guess, with concussions, and barely made it out. His wife says in all these videos he was born in Kenya. Just like everything else, it's all just over the top. And I see some people saying, well, why does it matter if he was born in Kenya? Because it's unconstitutional, just like everything else. It's illegal. And it means he can be blackmailed with that now. He's run by the Clintons. So even if Obama was a good guy, which he's not, he couldn't because he's totally blackmailed. That's why it's important. It's called being compromised. But I'm going to tell you right now, the technocracy will be developed. It will collapse. And the globalists are going to go they're going to go ahead with their next phase of their plans. And sorry for everybody. Sorry for you. It is a hell pit. I mean, I'll never forget that newscast. We can't find it. It's like 5 years ago, where in 1 week in a little town, CPS had 2 kids drowned who they had. And they're like, children will die. That's just the way it is. That's the accent of the guy. Children will die. A lot of you heard that when I played it a bunch on air. That's just the way it is. Children will die. They take institutionalized, broken, mind-scrambled on Prozac crazies who literally think families are bad or are pedophiles, and they turn them loose, and they're demon creatures, and they're out there grabbing people's kids. I mean, that's what's happening. That's not me putting a spin on it. That's what it is, okay? Let me tell you something. You're going to lead a cursed life. You don't have to worry about Alex Jones coming and popping you with, my fist or something. Let me tell you something, folks. God's real. The world's real. What comes around goes around is real. We're going to get rid of babies up to age 3. And Bill Gates laughs and says, we don't give grandma treatment. You get 10 jobs. And the women, the teachers, ooh, they clap. Jack Bauer tortures somebody's kid in front of him in a simulated torture to get the answers, and he saves the day. Devil got you. One of the final chunks of my ego burned away. And then, of course, he has a dead woman's Social Security number from Connecticut. I'm going to keep going here. The problem is, did I tell you about the birth certificate where it was fake typewriter, computer font? We even know the name of the font because each typewriter splats like a snowflake or a raindrop, and how hard you hit the key, how the ribbon is set, how it hits. Everyone's a different, like a fingerprint. And it was the A's, the C's, the I's, all of them are identical. It's fake. 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 Okay? We're not in Kansas anymore. And let me tell you, there's a lot of people that got direct lines to God out there praying right now that you be brought to justice one way or another.